Hey kids, it is Mr. Josh. Welcome back to Waterstone Kids Online. It has been so long since I've been able to hang out here with you guys. I'm so excited to be here, and I've got a great lesson. As you know, we started over. We started the Bible all over again because it's been 3 years since we started the last one. It's crazy. So today we're going to be talking about Adam and Eve in the garden and sin, how it got introduced. So as always, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to read our story. I'll wrap it up with some notes that I have, and we'll get right into it. If you want to follow along, Genesis chapter 2, verses 8 through 17, and chapter 3, verses 1 through 24. Read it yourself. It's very important that you do. But before that, let's get into this. So how sin entered the world. So after God made Adam, he placed him in the Garden of Eden to work and watch over it. God commanded him, "You can eat from any tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. For on the day that you eat it, you will certainly die." Now the serpent was the most cunning of all wild animals. One day he asked Adam's wife Eve, "Did God really say if you eat from the tree that you'll die?" And Eve said, "We must eat the fruit from the trees in the garden, but God said we must not eat the fruit from the tree of good and evil." And he said, "If you do either eat it or touch it, you'll die." "So no, you will certainly not die," the serpent said. "In fact, God knows that when you eat it, your eyes will be open and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." So Eve saw that the fruit looked good, and she wanted to be wise like God. So she took some of the fruit and ate it. She gave some to Adam, who was with her, and he ate it too. And as soon as they ate the fruit, their eyes were open and they knew that they had sinned. They made clothes for themselves by sewing them together fig leaves because they saw that they were naked. In the evening, Adam and Eve heard God walking in the garden, so they hid. And God called out to Adam, saying, "Where are you?" Adam immediately blamed Eve and said, Adam replied, Adam replied, "I am in the garden, but I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid from you." And God asked Adam, "Who told you that you were naked? Did you eat from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from?" Then Adam completely blamed Eve. He was like, "She took some of the fruit and she ate it," like a brother telling on his sister or something. So Eve blamed the serpent and said, "Well, he deceived me, and that's why I ate it." So God cursed the serpent by making him crawl on his belly. Adam and Eve also had consequences from their disobedience. Life will be hard and painful, all because of sin. The ultimate consequence for humanity's disobedience to God is death. But God promised that one of humanity's descendants would destroy the serpent. God was merciful to Adam and Eve. He made clothes for them from animal skins before he sent them out of the garden. And then God put angels on the entrance to the Garden of Eden with a sword of fire. In that way he could guard the tree of life. So when we think about this, Adam and Eve sinned because they rejected God's gift. And they disobeyed his command. But God promised them that one day he would send somebody to destroy the serpent. And you know who he was talking about, don't you? He was talking about Jesus. And that we're going to learn about way in the future. But I love how this story right here pertains to the future, because this story is kind of what they call a precursor, or foreshadowing of what's to come. So as people, we sin. We sin all the time. I don't know how many times I've sinned today. I don't know how many times you've sinned today, but we've sinned. And God, he's merciful, just like he was with Adam and Eve. With him, he could have, done something horrible. He could have just said, "You know what? I made you. I can unmake you because I'm God. I've got that power, and you disobeyed me." But instead, what he did was he actually took animal skin to cover them and said, basically he said, "I still love you, but you did disobey me and you have to be punished." You can look at it as if you disobey your parents and they punish you. They don't stop loving you, right? They still love you. They punish you so you learn. And it's the same thing with God. God needed to punish Adam and Eve so they would learn not to disobey him. But getting into this, God gave them a paradise. And you could look at it as your parents giving you your own room maybe, or giving you toys, or giving you all these things. You're like your own mini paradise. But in God's paradise, like, everything was perfect. There was no sin. There was nothing ever wrong. There was no illness. There was no cold. There was no too hot. There was nothing. It was just perfection. But the serpent came along, right? And the serpent tempted Eve by telling her, "Oh, well, God doesn't want you to eat this fruit because then you'll be like him. You'll know everything God knows. You'll be wise like him." And Eve thought, well, that sounds really good. I want to be like God. I want to know things like God. And she didn't think about the fact that God said, hey, you can't eat from this tree. That's the only command I've given you guys. Just don't eat from this tree. And she thought, well, if I eat from this tree, I could be like God, and that'll bring me closer to him. And Adam was standing there going, yeah, that sounds good. Let's do it. And so they both ate from the tree, and it ruined everything because they disobeyed God. Sometimes in our life, we disobey God. I say sometimes, it's a lot of times we disobey God. Sometimes we do it thinking about it, sometimes we do it not thinking about it. But when we do it, we hurt God. God doesn't want us to disobey him. But just like with Adam and Eve, he doesn't punish us unduly. He forgives us. He gives mercy on us. It says in the Bible that God's mercies are new every day. So every day we have a chance for redemption. God loves us the same no matter how many times we sin against him. And just like Adam and Eve, he may cast us off from something good that he had planned because of our sin. But that doesn't mean he casts us off completely. We're still his children. He still loves us unconditionally. He still loves us more than we will ever love him. The love that he has for man is incredible. And he sent his son, Jesus, to die on the cross for us. The one who would defeat the serpent, just like he predicted, or just like he told Adam and Eve about, not a prediction, but really telling them what's going to happen in the future. In Genesis, he sent Jesus to defeat the serpent, which he did. He defeated death. He defeated sin. And now we get to live with that, knowing that Jesus died on the cross for us. So just like Adam and Eve, we've been shown mercy. And just like God, we should show mercy to other people. This can go many different ways. But until next week, I thank you all for being here. I love you guys. I missed you. I can't wait to see you again. So have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.